Okay, start. Hi guys, welcome to I'm Just a Girl podcast. I'm Kira, I'm with
James
and
Grace.
So for today's podcast, we're going to be talking about trading in a home for a hotel, which is sort of like a metaphor for like trading a long-term relationship for a short-term meaningless relationship. Like I obviously have my opinions about it, but also I thought like it'd be great to get James's opinion on it as well. Because you know, I mean, you're a lot older than me, so like
This is true.
you're 27, so
Thanks for telling everyone.
you're kind of old. I'm joking. No, it's just this inside joke. But like on a serious note, like James will have his opinion about it and like a guy perspective as well. What's your opinion on just
How many people like we're talking about kid like younger like high school like guys. We're talking about like guys in general. We're talking about like a 35-year-old man.
Just guys in general, because I feel like no matter how old they are, they kind of all go back to the same instincts.
Are you saying like this is what guys do like off the like everyone?
I'm not
Every
saying
guy.
everyone.
Your brother, me, everyone.
No,
everybody.
no.
Your dad, like that's
No.
okay.
Okay, let's just. I don't mean every guy. Like obviously they have the exception.
Why some guys?
Some guys, like
Okay.
the majority of guys.
A lot of them.
The majority, not the majority.
Okay.
Some guys, just like
How many percentage do you think?
I'm.
like,
I don't
Get the
know.
facts.
do you think 80%?
I feel like
40%?
I feel like an 80%.
You
out of
think
80%.
That's your opinion. Is that a fact?
Honestly, no. Because
These are opinions.
honestly,
Let's say,
the way I see it, right?
From your perspective.
My perspective, there are more guys like that than more guys that aren't like that.
Okay, I can see that for you. So from your perspective, most guys aren't worried about trying to keep a home.
Yeah.
But most guys, you're thinking about living at home with mom and dad. No.
Everyone's gonna get
sorry.
confused now.
Sorry, no.
I feel like there's more guys that aren't as serious when they get into relationships than there is when guys that do get in relationships and are serious about it.
Okay. Okay. So less guys are more like just like
Yeah.
genuine, like trying to make the relationship work
Mm.
at all costs, like not gonna break up or
Yeah.
anything. Right, okay.
Yeah.
And girls, in contrast, are like always looking for a home, or they're like, because obviously there's the girls at the hotel. So
Yeah.
there's two types of girls.
I mean, okay, that's another thing as well.
Okay.
Like, I'm obviously going to talk from, like, my perspective as being a girl, but also...
Like what I'm saying is like if guys are the ones you're saying the majority cheat or trade or like a stable relationship for a non-stable relationship, obviously they're cheating with another girl or like trading it for another girl who is this hotel.
Yeah.
So like a lot of girls then you're saying like 80% of women like are then the girls in the hotel. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, okay. That's actually
Like you gotta
a
have
good
someone
point.
to cheat with or like or trade for.
That's true.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is like, so does that mean that there's only like a really rare men and women that are like looking for something stable?
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
I would agree, like, I agree with that. Because, like, not everyone is going to get into a relationship thinking that, oh yeah, I'm going to marry this person. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's definitely rare, like for sure.
Like,
I think that's like hard to find.
yeah, 100%. Like, there's only, like, a fair few people that you'll meet and it's like, oh yeah, I'm dating to marry. Because now, I
Yeah.
feel like everyone's kind of just dating because, you know, why not? Or,
Right.
I'm just living in the moment, like, why not?
No, I just watched your other video and it was
Mm.
like you were saying about people just dating for the sake of it.
Yeah.
And that's like that's true. I think people just date all the time and they date for a long time. And
Because they're
then-
comfortable with that person, but
Yeah.
then, like, yeah.
And because there's like no marriage in the future, they kind of just get to this like plateau
Yeah.
and they fizzle.
Yeah. They're like, oh, well, what
Right.
happens now?
Yeah.
But in terms of,
So how do you stop that?
I just,
How do you keep the home, not trade it in for the home? How do you keep the home and not trade for a hotel?
you just
Or why do you think people trade? Why do you think people swap it up? If it's so good, why do they swap it up?
yeah. I feel like that, like the reason why people trade it is because they always think that there's someone better or there's something better that they can gain.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like there's no content in that. Like, people are always kind of looking for more and looking for better things. Oh yeah, well I'm all this and stuff, and like I've got these options, like why not kind of just see where it goes? Do you know what I mean? But they're not actually kind of thinking that, but self-consciously.
So how do you decide when you like, so if the idea of like options makes you want something different because you want to see what's out there, how do you then recognize that what you have is like the one what you should stick around for?
I feel like, because like what I said in my other podcast, like the standards, like they need to meet your standards.
Right.
And your expectations, because you're not going to find the perfect one, but you're going to find.
But if they tick all the boxes.
Are going to tick your boxes.
So if they tick all the boxes, you're like, that's what you would think. You would think home, safe, boom,
safe,
lock it
boom,
up.
that's it.
Down, married.
Yeah.
Right. That's fair.
I feel like.
I would think like that.
Yeah.
I have thought like that.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, it's hard for me to like say anything different because I met your sister and within 2 months I proposed.
Literally.
So you're talking about a guy that's like
that's what
the
I'm saying.
embodiment of like quick decision.
Exactly.
Tick all the boxes and just go for it.
Yeah. And I think he knew it was like, yeah, there's like she ticks my boxes, that's it for me. And I feel like when guys kind of get to a certain point, I feel like them being like 18, 19, of course they're going to want to like experience things. And I think that's also another problem. Because guys kind of have this mentality, a lot of younger guys now are kind of like, oh no, I want to experience things, like I'm not looking for a serious relationship yet because I haven't done this yet or whatever. But it's like, why would you waste your time doing that when you can just wait, chill out, and then like when you are ready?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think the theory is good, but like the problem is in reality it gets lost.
Yeah,
like you would see this now. Like you would start seeing like how like the idea of like you could just wait, or you don't have to date, or you could just like I don't know like talk to someone and see where it leads without like even going on a date. You could just like you could figure someone out, like learn about them before you even met them, because of like 2024 you can meet them on like social media or through friends, whatever. You can chat all you want. Like you can play a game on like Fortnite together, and like you actually like getting to know someone without even seeing them. You're just getting to know someone,
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But then but people then just always want to jump ahead to like dating and like I feel like it's like practicing like playing house, playing marriage without
literally.
doing it.
Yeah.
Like committing to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or like they're renting. Like
they're renting.
They're literally renting.
They're literally renting.
That was a good one.
That's a good one. Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
It's like trading a house for a home, but the house you have to buy. But you kind of low key rent a hotel too. That's I think that's like a low key like a fault in what we tell people, what people like think about relationships is kind of like they misunderstand like a hotel is renting, but so is a dating isn't marriage. It's just the same thing. It's just a long stay hotel.
Literally. And obviously when people go like buy a house or they buy a home, there's a lot of effort put into that. Like you're putting in
you can't go backwards quickly.
You can't go backwards, and it's like
and you're putting in like life effort, like literally everything you have.
Everything you have, you're putting towards that one big thing. But when you're renting, it's just like, oh yeah, next pay.
Yeah.
I can pay off my rent. And it's kind of like a half-hearted thing. I guess.
You can always leave. Like there's always that idea.
Yeah, that always that idea.
You can always change house.
Yeah, literally.
I think I see it still like obviously I'm like 10 years older than you, like 12 years older than you. But like
somewhere there.
Something like that. But like I still saw that like at high school and then going in 20s.
Yeah.
Like, people still did the same thing. Even now people doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Like even out of my friends, I'm like the first one that's married, and I'm like, and you guys think I'm old. My friends are like older than me.
Yeah.
And they're still like they're still dating for ages. And like, I mean, they're even buying houses and stuff without even being married, and then breaking up, like some cases, and it's like just seems like a lot of hassle. Like why are people so scared of the marriage part sometimes?
Yeah, and that's like also another thing. I feel like a lot of people are scared to settle down because they feel like they haven't like seen it all.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
No, I feel that. Like people want to experience everything. Like try not just like one like. Say you're in a car, like shopping for a house or a car. You're not just trying to try that model out. You're trying to try all the models out in the car yard before you buy the one car you're trying to buy, even if they're out of your price range.
Yeah, like
sit in the
you
car
just
for a
want to
little
sit. Yeah, you're comfortable sitting.
Like
in
you
the
want to
car
go to
for a bit.
and talk to some random girl that doesn't even like you, but you just want to like see what she's
Yeah.
like. And then the girl want to talk to the guy just for the sake of it because he's like, oh, he looks cute or something. And then like just for the sake of it, they start like losing track, right? I feel that.
Yeah.
What is your perspective? Like, what's your opinion on? So like, now we're calling it renting versus hotel.
Yeah.
Because do you think it's like it's like a lesser evil? I feel like people would say that it's like, oh, it's like not so bad if I'm dating this person for like 2 years, and then like they like pretending to be married basically, right?
Yeah.
Then they break up.
Yeah.
But like now that boy or girl like is 2 years down the track, okay, yeah, like I feel like in society people look at it like, oh my god, at least she only dated one person or two people, like, but I feel like, is it that much better or any better than just? I don't think it's any better than just like the hotel version.
Really?
I don't think there's like that much of a dive. It's like saying like say your boyfriend, not your boyfriend, but like say you had a boyfriend. Say you had a husband, right?
Okay.
And then one day the husband comes back home and he's like, oh sweetie, like I cheated on you. You're like, what? You're mad. You start throwing stuff. Like you're like, well, how could you do this to me? Right? What happened? But then he's like, oh no. Sorry, I lied. I actually cheated with you 5 different times. You'd be like, could you get madder than mad? Like, would you then be like, wow, you cheated on me once. I wish it was just once because 5 is so much worse. Like, I feel like 1 and 5 is just as bad. Like cheating is bad. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just cheat.
Yeah.
But it's like, why would we then say 1 is like, if you compare it to 5 times, then it's
still the
less
same
bad.
thing.
It's the same thing, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Are you saying, okay, well, we can kind of...
You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
So then it's like renting just as bad as being in the hotel. Because you're still not just like committing to the house. Do you know what I'm saying?
I get that, but also, how many other hotels? Is it like one hotel or is it like multiple hotels? Which is like a thing as well, because like we can kind of refer back to like, say someone's like body count or whatever. Let's just say that, right? Is it better than them having 1 or 30?
Well, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like, at what point would you then say like you're trying to make like a justification scale? Like, this isn't that bad. This is really bad. This is like a horrible person.
Yeah.
Like, if it was 1,000, you'd be like a horrible person. But it's like, but then if that person, I mean, 1,000 is like extreme case. I don't mean, yeah, there's not many.
Yeah, that's wild.
It's like Genghis Khan. Like extreme. But like, my point is like, say you had like 5 or 7. Is that the same? Like say you had 2 guys you were looking at to marry, and like you actually found out you had like a script, like a sheet that told you all the dirty secrets about them, and it said this guy has 7 bodies, this guy 5 bodies. Would you then look at it and go, oh well, I guess 5 bodies, even if he doesn't have like this box ticked or something? Like, oh, 5 is better than 7. You know what I mean? Like once you hit like even 3 or 5.
Like, do body counts even count?
Like, at what point does it count? Or what point is like a body count just like...
It's more of a...
It's just, you've crossed the line now and you're over there.
Yeah.
And so now, if you want to come back, you have to actually let go of all that anyway. You're trying to put like... There's like perfection, then there's a line you cross, and then you're going to start putting like degrees of bad, like degrees of this is bad, this is worse, this is really bad. And like, is that true? I think that's what misleads people, because people go, oh well, I'll just rent. It's not so bad, but I'll rent and I'll like live with this person, I'll sleep with them or whatever. But then it's been like 3-5 years, and like, what was the point of that?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, you could have just, like, in my mind, what's the difference with having 3 bodies in 3 years?
Yeah.
But then, like, either way, you've already crossed the line. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, how is that any different?
Yeah, that's actually true. Well, yeah, there's no difference between like renting and a hotel, because like you're doing the same thing, and it's like,
I heard this thing once, like in a group of guys. I maybe like I was early 20s or something, but it was like there was like 2 types of, like, call them hotels. Like, either the hotel that's really easy, you just book a night, or there was a hotel that you had to date them and become their girlfriend, boyfriend before they became the hotel.
right.
So it was like one had like more exclusive access, but still like then a guy who is like willing to be like manipulative would then be like, like then that girl would become quite easy because then they would just say the right things. Like, oh, I love you. Oh my god, I want you to be my girlfriend. I want to meet your parents. I'd love to meet your parents. And they're like, oh my god, I'm gonna marry this guy. And like no ring ever comes, but you've already become the hotel. You know what I'm saying? Because like the guy is not thinking of like you as a home.
Yeah,
You know
I feel like in a lot of relationships as well, like okay, the girl's not considered a hotel, but she becomes his hotel.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but you were talking about it before as well. Like if the girl has self-respect, then she would like become a home with a door locked and be like, you can't like become a home unless you like buying me a ring and a house.
Yeah, literally.
And, like I'm gonna start doing your dishes. Like there's no like, you know what I mean? Like it's like
you might get cancelled for that. So I'm joking. I think that's a big part of this whole aspect. It's like if people held themselves to a higher standard, right, then they would go for people that they believe that they're like worth. I don't know. Do you know what I mean?
It's like like there was that movie with like Emma Watson, and she's like Perks of Being a Wallflower. Have you seen that?
Oh yeah, Perks of Being a Wallflower.
Like why did they choose that person? And it's like would they accept the love that they think they deserve?
Yeah.
It's like kind of true, like
Yeah, literally. And I feel like
if people have lower self-respect, they choose people like that might like misuse them or like mislead them into like a relationship that isn't what they wanted.
Yeah.
Or if they had a higher self-respect, they're gonna just like keep looking until they find that person that is what they want. Like people just use those like justifications and then they get into relationships. Like, do you think that's true? So, like, do you see that with people? Like, they just like, I need a date because I'm not that person. Like, I have self-respect, so I'm gonna date this person. But like, no ring ever comes. I don't ever mention like I need to get married. You know what I mean?
Like
it's like a trap.
Yeah, literally. And I feel like I feel bad for people because like, I mean, they think that they're doing the better thing, but by dating, right? And by being in this long-term thing, I guess. Facade. But it's like literally like a fake facade because like. It's actually a not long-term thing. It's just like
it's just another temporary
thing that's just gone longer, you know.
Right. So you can get a hotel for a night. You can rent for 6 months or 12 months. Yeah. Either way, you don't own the house. It's just wasted money.
Yeah. It's literally. Yeah. I think of it like as an investment.
Right.
Like an investment you put into someone is like putting investment into a house. Like you don't put investments in a.
You get it back later.
Yeah, exactly.
People use that feeling of like, oh my god, when will I get it? When will I find a home? Like, and they just feel like they have to jump into anything. They get like caught in that like idea of I need to just jump in. They caught in
the idea that's like, oh, I'm running out of time, or like I need
running out of time.
Yeah. Like everyone's got this, and I'm like, I'm still trying to find my
person.
Like, yeah. And that's the thing. I feel like a lot of people kind of get stuck into that mindset as well, where it's like, oh, like people getting married and they're doing this, like. Oh, but this person's like, okay, like I can fix this person. Do you know what I mean?
People, that's crazy.
Fixing people, I feel like is like the biggest trap as well because
True.
I feel like most girls feel like they have the ability that they can fix.
I think that's actually like inbuilt, like in that like nurturing kind of aspect. Like that's what women do. Like they like they're there to like nurture people. It's like intrinsic. Like they like can't help but like feel like. This little like bird needs to be saved.
Yeah,
you know,
literally like oh no, I can fix him. Like he's got this.
Him.
Right, you can mold him.
He's done this to me, but I make sure he doesn't do it to me again. You know,
past the past, let it go. Like it's tough because a lot of these things can be used against you, even if they're good principles and like you believe them, good values or good morals. Like they can be like you can be manipulated into doing something you didn't 100%. Want to do with the same values. Like, you can still hold them. You still have high standards, but like someone could pretend to be a high standard. High value person you're talking about, you know what I mean? Did I tell you about that idea of like the women start at the top and men start at the bottom thing?
No.
Men, like boys, guys, whatever, they start life and they start at the bottom and women start at the top of the mountain. Yeah. And women can only go down from the mountain. So like time, like age, like maybe, like say a woman's like perfect, like 19, oh my god, she's like so smart, she's going to uni, college, whatever, all great, like whatever. But then she's like, say she doesn't get married till she's like 38. Like she's only gonna come down from that mountain because she's like, maybe she like having trouble having kids or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, there's gonna be more things about that. Even if she just hasn't dated for another 15 years, like why weren't you married? It like, you know what I mean? Why did you choose your career? Like, something like that. There might be something for some guys that would then lower her from that mountain. Whereas like 19 might lower someone from the mountain. Maybe have to wait till she's 22 and proves herself to be staying at the mountaintop. You know what I mean? Like, but men start at the bottom and they have to climb their way up. So when you're talking about standards, like the men will have a high standard, in terms of like they'll look up the mountain and see the girl, and they're like, okay, that's my standard. I'm gonna go get her. I'm gonna be the man for her. Like I'm gonna go get the money or the job or like the like stability to support her, like mentally, emotionally, like whatever. I'm gonna go be that guy for her. Or they get like halfway up the mountain and go, she's coming down. I'll just get this one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they just like settle for that.
They settle for
there.
that because of like.
Because they don't really want to go up there.
Yeah.
Like
it's easier just to be like where they are.
Have you heard about the percentages? It's like the mountain.
What's that?
It's like at the start of a relationship they put 100%
right
into the relationship.
Right. Oh yeah.
And then it goes like halfway through the relationship they go down. 50%.
Right. It's like effort
right.
Down.
And then once the girl says something about it, they're like, okay, they put an extra 10% up.
Oh right.
Oh
so it goes
yeah,
to 60%.
Right, go up a little bit. It's like
up
this.
a little bit. Like they put it's like after like a few months goes down another like 15%.
Right.
The girl says something, oh yeah, like your effort's gone bad.
Right.
Like, we're not putting any nothing's happening.
Right.
Puts it up 5%.
Right.
And then that's when the girl thinks, oh, like he's changed.
So he's changing, but he's really
changing,
like
he's
a lot
really
lower.
working towards it, but it's just going lower and
so
lower.
the like the velocity, so like the distance moved feels like something's happening because you like jumped, but really going so slow.
Like you communicated,
small,
but it's just going up.
Right. It's like a car that's like going 100 kilometers and then like slowing to 60. So when you go to 80, it feels fast.
It feels fast.
Yeah.
But when you go back down, you stop. Yeah. Right.
And that happens. I feel like that happens a lot in a relationship.
It's that constant thing of like they're not doing as much as they could be doing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's fair. Like, it's tough though. I feel like for a guy, it really depends on like who you're around because like it's easy for guys to like feel comfortable with like their mates who don't maybe like put in a lot of effort, and so they're like, oh well, he doesn't do it, so I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah.
Whereas if like all my friends like really like looked after their partners or like were married or whatever, I'd feel like, oh my god, like I really should be upping my game. You know what I mean?
That's true. Because there's like that
all I did was buy flowers. You got her like all this holiday. I'm like, damn, I should have done that. Or like, maybe you just complimented her. I'm like, I should have done that. Like, damn, like, But like also like who the guys have as friends also changes like what they think of like
100%.
what their standard is.
Their influence.
Yeah, and it's not even just guys either. I think it's girls as well.
Well, I mean, there's got to be someone else in a relationship that's going along with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's a two-way street, like two tango. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so if you're like a girl that doesn't like is doing kind of the same thing, is like kind of dropping like her level of effort, like in herself, like or whatever. Time's going by, feeling like more time, more desperate, whatever. Like that's gonna change who she's gonna meet, and therefore how they interact, and like what that guy might think he has to do.
Yeah.
He might be like, oh, I actually don't need to do too much because she's happy with me, like as I am. I don't actually have to change because she's like fine with it. Whereas like some other girl might be like, no, that's not cool. Like you can't have girlfriends or go out at night with your friends and like do all this stuff and come home late. Like that's just like not it. And they're like, what? But my friend, it's cool with that. Like my her missus let me get. She lets him go out like all night. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like if the girl doesn't have the same standards, then the guy can't have the same standards.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing expected of him, so he can just chill out.
Yeah.
Which is like double-edged sword because sometimes expectations can be like difficult, challenging. But it's like fair enough. Like if I was a girl, I'd be like, damn, you got to be this.
Yeah.
Like otherwise, what's the point? Like what am I doing for you? Nothing. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If the girl's at the mountaintop, why would she then settle for less? Like if you're not gonna meet her at the top, like why would she come down and get you?
Yeah.
Like
That's
she can
so
see
true.
other guys coming, trying to go to the top of the mountain.
Yeah.
Like she's not chasing them.
She's not chasing them.
And then
She's
chasing
like
her.
she's waiting to be like all she has to do is put all 100% effort into maintaining her level of like self-respect at the mountaintop, like her like inner confidence, like like knowing who she is, like that's what she has to maintain. When everyone's like attacking her down, like, oh, not pretty enough, you need this, you need that, like you should be dating to like practice to date, otherwise you're not gonna know how to be married. Like all these things that people attack you, and you have to like try and maintain the top. You can't really go anywhere because you're already like honestly, like what do you like? No one's gonna be like, oh wow, you have a degree, like that's so much better than someone like with this degree or that degree. Like whereas a guy is like, oh, you had a law degree or you have a doctor or you're a doctor. Like that's very different to being like an arts degree. Like do you know what I mean? Whereas if a girl's a doctor, you go, okay, it's cool, but like it depends on the guy. You know what I mean? What they're looking for. So it might not benefit the guy that you're looking for. Do you know what I'm saying? Like if your husband, you met your husband, he's not gonna care if you had a doctorate or if you only did your honours, or if you only didn't go to uni. Like he's not really going to care about that as much. Like that's not what's going to get him over the line.
Yeah,
if you're like honest, loyal, trustworthy, like you're like a solid person, respectful, like you have self-respect, you like respect him. Like that's gonna be way more.
That's gonna be way more
ticking the boxes than
important.
what you did in your career,
Yeah,
or what
100%.
you did in your schooling, or what your ATAR was like.
Yeah,
you know,
like I feel like no one will really care about like that.
Right, like I
think some people do care about that though.
Some people do care, but that's what I'm saying. Sometimes like it can be misguided though. Like, do you know what I mean? Like it can be because the guy is looking for that in the wrong direction.
Yeah. What do you think for like a girl that wants a guy that's very like career driven?
Depends on what she wants from him as well. Like I mean, career can be great for financial stability, but like there's sort of three aspects of men's lives that you have to consider. Like financial stability is just one, health is another. Like there's no point, for example, being like really successful or career driven, but like overweight and dying at like 33. You know what I mean? There's no like that doesn't help a woman at all. Like you know what I mean? So like there's health, there's finance, and there's family. So you have to have like all three balanced. That's like the definition of success. Like if you can have all three, 100%. And your family life is good, your financial life is good, and your health is good, then like that's like what women will want. But women who want a career driven man like may not necessarily know the benefits of like family or health, and find them out later.
Okay guys, that's all for today's episode. Thank you so much for watching or listening or however you're interacting with this. Also, like if you want us to clarify anything, like obviously just like let us know, or in the next episode what you would like.
Put a comment down low. Comment on something.
Literally, like
put a timestamp.
Instagram.
Go to
DM her. It's right here.
James is like,
don't go to Instagram because it's suspect. No.
Anyway, just leave a comment. And I hope you guys enjoyed this episode.
Yeah, like, share, subscribe, and tell her what the next episode is. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Comment down below.
Yeah. Alright. Ciao.
Ciao.